Welcome to Treasures from the Purans, a treasure chest of fascinating stories from the Puran genre of Indian literature. The word Puran means ancient in Sanskrit, covering a wide range of topics, particularly legends and other traditional lore. The Purans are known for the intricate layers of symbolism depicted in their stories. The stories that follow are from Devi Bhagavatam, which is one of the important Purans. The sages gathered in Naimisharanya or the Naimish forest said to sage Suta, "O great sage, the best among storytellers, please tell us more about the Devi Bhagavatam." Suta replied, Vedvyas, the great sage, was born to Parashar and Satyavati. He divided the Vedas into 4 and taught them to his disciples. And then it occurred to him that not everyone will be able to understand the Vedas. So he created the 18 Purans and the Mahabharata. Among them is the Devi Bhagavatam. In ancient times, King Parikshit was bitten by the snake Takshak. His son Janmejaya performed the Navah Yagya, or the 9-day sacrifice, during which Vyas himself narrated the Devi Bhagavatam to King Janmejaya. Suta said, "O sages, listen to the glorious deeds of the supremely dynamic Vishnu. Today, I will tell you the story of Hayagreev, or the Horse-necked One." Once upon a time, Vishnu, or Narayan as he is also called, became extremely tired after fighting a battle for 10,000 years. So he seated himself in the lotus posture on a level patch of land in a secluded place. Then, positioning his bow vertically, he rested his head on it and fell fast asleep. At around this time, Indra and the other devatas, with Brahma and Shiva, began a yagya or sacrificial ritual. For the sake of the success of the ceremony and blessings for the devatas, they went to Vishnu's abode, Vaikuntha Lok, to meet him. Not finding him there, they meditated and soon came to know where Vishnu was. On reaching that spot, they found Vishnu fast asleep under the influence of Yoga Nidra or yogic sleep. Brahma, Shiva and all the devatas waited patiently for him to wake up. Soon, getting restless, Indra, the king of the devatas, addressed them and said, "What do we do? How do we wake up Janardhan?" which is another name for Vishnu. Shiva replied, "The sacrificial work must be completed, but if we disturb Narayan's sleep, he will get angry." Hearing this, Brahma created the wood-boring Vamari insects and ordered them to nibble away at the end of the bow which rested on the ground, so that the bow on which Vishnu rested his head would snap and he would wake up. The Devata's purpose would then be fulfilled without them directly waking up Janardhan. But the tiny Vamris said, "O Brahma, how can we disturb the sleep of the preserver of the world? Moreover, to rouse someone from deep sleep, to interrupt someone when he is speaking, to disrupt the love between a husband and wife, to separate a child from his mother are the biggest sins. So, how can I disturb the comforting sleep of Narayan?" Pausing momentarily, the Vamri continued, "A person sometimes decides to commit a sin if there is some benefit for him. What benefit will we get by boring into and breaking Vishnu's bow? Brahma said, we will give you a share in the yajna sacrifice. While performing the yajna, whatever ghee or clarified butter falls outside the fire pit will be your share. So please hurry up and start your work. Thus, reassured by Brahma, the Vamris started nibbling away at the end of the bow resting on the ground. Soon it gave way and the bowstring snapped, creating a terrible sound which resounded all around. The Devatas were terrified as the earth trembled ominously. The seas were swept with unexpected high tides, startling the sea animals. Violent winds started blowing. Mountains shook and meteors started falling as the sun went down the horizon suddenly. The whole cosmos was plunged in chaos and darkness, and the Devatas were absolutely petrified. When the darkness dissipated, Brahma, Shiv and the Devatas were shocked to see that Vishnu's head had vanished. Only his headless body remained. They started weeping loudly. "Oh Lord, oh Master," they wailed. "You cannot be killed nor burnt. What then has happened? Is this some kind of illusion? Is it the Daityas, Danas or Yakshas who have done this? Oh, who can we blame for this? It's because of our selfish motive that this has happened. We are dependent on you," they sobbed. "Who will protect the stupid Devatas now?" Seeing Brahma, Shiv and the Devatas crying, the highly learned Brihaspati, the guru of the Devatas, consoled them thus. "O Devatas, there is no use crying and repenting now. We should try to think of ways to set this calamity right. Fate and one's own effort and intelligence is equal. So if success doesn't come through fate, one should apply himself more diligently." A lamenting Indra replied, "Fie! Our efforts and intelligence is useless before fate. Before our very eyes, the head of Narayan has vanished." Brahma added, "Whatever has been ordained by fate must come to pass. No one can go against fate. When one has taken a bodily form, one must experience pleasure and pain. It was by the irony of fate that Shambhu or Shiva once cut off my head. Shiv's genital organ had once fallen off also because of fate, because of a curse. And at one time, Indra was cursed with having 1,000 vagina marks all over his body and had to hide among the lotuses in the Manas pond. Similarly, today, Vishnu's head has fallen off. He spoke on gently. "O glorious ones, when they too were not spared such agony, there is no one in the world who does not suffer at some time or the other. So cease your lamenting and let us all pray to the cosmic mother, the eternal Devi Mahamaya, who pervades the three lokas, the whole universe, moving and non-moving. She will surely help us." Speaking thus to the Devatas, Brahma turned to all the Vedas who were present there in their physical forms. "O Vedas," he said, "go and chant hymns to the sacred and eternal Devi Mahamaya, who pervades invisibly all forms." The Vedas immediately began to chant hymns to the Devi. "नमो देवी महामाये विश्वोत्पत्तिकरे शिवे निर्गुणे सर्वभूतेषि मातः शंकर कामदे त्वं भूमि सर्वभूतानां प्राणः प्राणवतां तथा धीः श्रीः कान्तिः क्षमा शान्तिः श्रद्धा मेधा धृतिः स्मृतिः." O auspicious one, the creator of the universe, thou art the power that energizes all living beings. Thou art the intelligence, wealth, glory, forgiveness, peace, faith, intellect, fortitude, and memory. Jaya cha vijaya dhatri lajja kirti sprihadaya. Thou art also the one who supports victory, modesty, fame, will, and mercy in all beings. Praised by the hymns, the Devi Mahamaya was pleased and her melodious voice rang out. "O Devatas," she said, "you are immortal. Then what fear do you have? Come to your senses. Does anything ever occur in this world without a cause? Let me tell you why Vishnu's head was cut off. Once upon a time, when Vishnu was with his consort Lakshmi, gazing at her beautiful face, he laughed. This annoyed Lakshmi, who thought to herself, why would my husband laugh without any cause? He has probably seen something ugly in my face. But why would he see it now when we have been together for so long? Or maybe he finds another woman more beautiful than me, and that's why he laughed at me." Thinking on these lines, Lakshmi's annoyance turned to anger, as more of the tamas shakti possessed her. And then, as if prompted by fate, she got very angry and said, "Let thy head fall off." It is owing to that curse that Vishnu's head has fallen off into the salty ocean waters. There is another cause of this, which will bring you great success, O Devatas. And so saying, the Devi told them the story of Hayagreev. In ancient times, there was a famous Daitya or demon named Hayagreev. He performed severe penance on the bank of the river Saraswati, abandoning all sorts of enjoyments, including food, and with control over his senses. The Daitya practiced severe austerities for 1,000 years, meditating on one of the Devi's forms. Pleased and full of compassion for the severity of his penance, the Devi appeared before him. The Daitya fell at the feet of the Devi, and looking up at her resplendent form, his face awash with tears of devotion and love, he started chanting hymns in praise of the Devi. The Devi said, "I am pleased with your devoted penance, O glorious one. Ask for the boon you desire, and I will grant it to you." Hayagreev said, "O Mother, grant that I may be immortal and invincible, with no fear of death at the hands of the Devatas or the Danavas." The Devi replied, "Death brings birth, and birth brings death in the eternal circle of time. It is inevitable. Ask for something else, O best of the Rakshasas." Hayagreev then said, "O Mother of the universe, if you cannot grant me immortality, then grant that my death only be brought about by a horse-faced one." The Devi replied, "O highly fortunate one, I grant you that no one except a horse-faced one will cause your death. Now go home and govern your kingdom." The Devi vanished, and Hayagreev returned home. Soon thereafter, empowered by his boon, the Daitya started troubling the Devatas and the sages. After telling the Devatas the story of Hayagreev, the Devi said, "There is none in the 3 worlds who can kill him. So Vishwakarma should fix a horse's head to the body of Vishnu. And then Bhagwan Hayagreev will slay the wicked Danav for the good of the Devatas." The Devatas requested Vishwakarma, the divine architect, to do the needful. Vishwakarma quickly cut off the head of a horse and fixed it on the headless body of Vishnu. Vishnu then became Hayagreev, or the Horse-necked One. Soon thereafter, he went and killed the Danav, and peace was restored once again. य इदं शुभमाख्यानं शृण्वन्ति भुवि मानवाः सर्वदुःखविनिर्मुक्तास्ते भवन्ति न संशयः। महामायाचरित्रश्च पवित्रं पापनाशनं पठतां शृण्वतां चैव सर्वसम्पत्तिकारकम्।